What's up, you guys? Today I'm going to be bringing you my August book haul. I say August because I just got back from book shopping this morning. I went to McKay's in Nashville, and then I went further down south to Murfreesboro, and I went to the Barnes & Noble in Murfreesboro for their 50% off sale. And then I also went to a local Murfreesboro bookstore called the Grumpy Book Peddler and bought a few books there. But then I've also got some books that I had bought earlier in the month of August, probably about midway through August. Two of them I've gotten from McKay's the last time I went to McKay's, and then one of them I got from Walmart. So I'm going to talk about those first. The first one that I got from Walmart was Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I've been hearing fantastic things about this on BookTube. I heard that it is Avatar: The Last Airbender inspired, which my husband and I both love that show, but he is really skeptical about this, so I told him I would read it first, and then I would let him know if it is really good, and if he would like it also, and then he's going to give it a try if I think he would like it. That's how I got him to read Nevernight, because I told him I really liked Nevernight, and he says, oh, I'm curious now. I think I'll give that a try. So he's working on Nevernight, and I told him I would read this and let him know if I thought maybe it would be something that he would like also. The next one that I'm going to show you guys is one that I've already shown in a couple of my videos. I showed it in my Newts wrap-up for August, and then I showed it in the last video I posted talking about some of my favorite books from August. And that is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I'm not going to go into too much depth on this because I've already talked about it in my last video, but I did absolutely love this. And when I saw it at McKay's for $14 instead of $27, I think, or $28. Yeah, $26.99, and I saw it at McKay's for $14 instead. I could not pass this up because this book was so good that I need more of that in my life right now. I need more grimdark in my life right now. And then the last book from my previous trip to McKay's is The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. And I've heard about this from BookTube originally, and then I actually got to see the physical book at McKay's. It was $5 at McKay's, and this originally sells for $26. So again, I could not pass that up. But there's a blurb on the back that says, "Love the Wheel of Time. This is about to become your new favorite series." I love the Wheel of Time books. Like, I'm working through a reread of those right now. I'm on the second book already. I've read the prequel and the first book, and I'm almost done with the second book. I'm just waiting on the audiobook loan for book 3 from Overdrive, because I can listen to them a tiny bit faster than the ones I have on my computer, and that kind of helps out a little bit. But I saw that blurb on the back, and I was like, I need this book. I need to read this trilogy. So, anyways, those were the books I got earlier this month. And now we're going to get into the books that I just got today. And I'm going to go in order from the places that I went. So the first place I went was McKay's, because McKay's is awesome. Oh, I forgot about one more that I got earlier this month. Oh, well, I'll show it with these. The first set of books I'm going to talk about are the first 4 books in the series of Unfortunate Events. This first one I actually did get earlier this month. And then I got 2, 3, and 4 while I was at McKay's today. I'm trying to get them in order in the hardback editions, because the hardback editions are so nice looking, and then they just hold up so much better. And so yeah, these were, I think, like $4 each at McKay's. I love going to McKay's because they have such a wide variety of books, especially books that you can't really find in your commercial bookstores like Barnes & Noble or Books A Million very easily for really good prices. And anyways, so I've now got the first 4 books in the series of Unfortunate Events. The next ones I'm going to talk about, I've also seen going around on BookTube, and that is the Gemma Doyle trilogy. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, 75 cents, $1.50, $3. Not lying on this one. I saw all three of them down there in the little Live a Bray cubby hole, and I was like, I've been wanting these, and they are really cheap, and I got all three of them because they were really cheap, and I figured I'd try the first one. If I don't like it, I can just take them back and sell them again for credit. And if I do, then I can just binge on them if I want to binge on them. Okay, and then the last two things I got from McKay's are not books, but I figured I'd throw them in here anyways because when I go by myself, like I just did this morning, I try to get some stuff for my husband too, and he wanted season 4 of Teen Titans, but they didn't have season 4 of Teen Titans. They did have the first 2 seasons of another show that we both really enjoyed when we were younger, and that is Samurai Jack. And they had the first 2 seasons of Samurai Jack. They did have season 4 also, but I didn't want to get seasons 1, 2, and 4 and not have season 3, so I just got the first 2 seasons. Okay, so that's it from McKay's. The next place I went to was, I left McKay's and went straight to the Barnes & Noble in Murfreesboro because they were having a huge 50% off sale, and there were only 3 books that I really wanted from that 50% off sale. I got 2 of them because they were out of the 3rd one, and I'm a little sad about that, but I can always wait to get the 3rd one at a later day. Maybe I find it on Amazon or something for cheaper. The first one that I'm going to show you guys, I've already talked about in my Newts wrap-up, and that is Zenith by Sasha Ellsberg and Lindsay Cummings. This is, I went into this not really expecting a whole lot because I'm not a huge sci-fi fan, and I loved it. Like, I cannot wait for the next book in this series to come out. I'm ready for the next book in this series to come out because I loved this book. The fact that it centers around a group of all-girl space pirates is just so, it was so fun and tense, and just the anti-relationship drama that takes place in this book was just hilarious, and I actually ended up really liking it when I was going in expecting to just be okay, because it was a sci-fi, and I'm not a huge fan of sci-fis, and then I ended up really, really just loving it. The next book I got was another one that I wanted from the 50% off sale, and it's another one that I've also been hearing a lot of good things about, and a lot of anticipated, a lot of people on BookTube have really been looking forward to reading this one, and that is Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. This is a fantasy Viking story about, and this is just from what I've heard on BookTube. I know, like, personally, I know absolutely zilch about this book, but I've heard that it's about this girl who's trained, this Viking girl who's trained all her life to fight this other clan, and then her life gets turned upside down because she sees her brother die, and then they go into battle again with this clan that they're fighting against, and she sees her brother fighting for the clan that they're fighting against. So it's just kind of, it sounds really interesting, and it's not very long either, so I figured I'd pick it up and give it a shot because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, and I like this kind of different, figured this would be something a little different since my life really is just fantasy books in general. 90% of my shelves are fantasy. The 10% that's not fantasy are either my husband's books because he likes the sci-fi stuff, like, or it's video game based books like Resident Evil or Halo. And those are the few sci-fis that I tolerate and will actually sit through and read. Okay. And then the last book I got from Barnes & Noble was not part of that sale, but it is by another author that I discovered last month and talked about again in my Newts wrap-up, and that is Lost Gods by Brom. Last month I read his Child Thief, and it was so good. Like, he has become one of my auto-buy authors. I don't know how many books. I know he has 3 for sure. I don't know if he's still making books or if he's not doing any more. But I got this one because this is the one I want to read next, and then I want to kind of save his third one that's out. It's called Krampus the Yule Lord. I want to save that one for closer to Christmas, and then I'm going to probably order Child Thief maybe for my birthday or something like that. But I did want to read this one next. He also does his own illustrations. Let me see if I can find like my favorite one. These are just the color ones from in the middle of the book. So, and a lot of these illustrations that he does remind me a lot of Dark Souls. Look at those. Those are creepy looking. And like just this last one, and then this part 5, this illustration right here. My husband and I love Dark Souls, and I showed him these illustrations the last time we were at the Murfreesboro Barnes & Noble, and I was like, I want these. Like, I want to read this, and I want to know what this is. So I told him that after I read Child Thief, I'd decide and go from there. So I got that one. And then the last place I went was a local bookstore in Murfreesboro called the Grumpy Book Peddler. And I got 6 books from there. 3 of them are a trilogy. Again, I got the whole trilogy. They were each $3. Each book was like $3. So I got the whole trilogy so I could give it a try and binge on it if I like it. And if I don't, then I can again take them in to McKay's or somewhere for store credit. And it is the Age of the Five trilogy. The first book is Princess of the White. Second book is The Last Wilds, and the third book is Voice of the Gods. And then, so you guys can see the covers if I don't drop them there. It's the second book. And that's the third book. And really, those were just complete cover buys for me right there. I have never heard of Trudy Canavan, but these books just looked really pretty, and I wanted to give them a try. Same thing with these next 2 books, and these 2 are massive. I think this is just a duology. I'll have to look it up on Goodreads to see if it actually is just a duology, because if it's not, oh my god. Like, if every book in this series is as thick as these 2 are, I don't know what I'm going to do. That is the Green Tower by Tad Williams. I got part 1 and part 2. Part 1, and this is why I'm going to freak out if each book is this long. Not including the appendix, which is like this little bit right here. The first part is 796 pages, and then the second part is 796 pages. So I'm really hoping that it is only the 2 books, and then that'll be it. But if not, then maybe there's only one more, hopefully. But those were also cover buys. I had been looking at Tad Williams books at McKay's for a while, but I didn't know where to start, or I couldn't find the first one in the series at McKay's, so I figured I can find both of these, so why not start there? And then the last book I got from the Grumpy Book Peddler is one that I see at Barnes & Noble all the time, but it's like $25, and I want it, but I don't want to pay $25 for it. But at the same time, the Barnes & Noble collector editions are so worth it because they're so nice. So I've been putting off getting this one, and then I found like a let me see if I can see it. You guys can't really see it. It's right there. That little nebula looking thing right there. It's a small collection of H.P. Lovecraft stories, because I've been playing Insult Simulator as H.P. Lovecraft, and I love H.P. Lovecraft on Insult Simulator. It's so funny. But anyways, so then I came across this at Grumpy Book Peddler for $10, and I could not pass it up. And it is the Barnes & Noble Collector's Edition of the complete fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. So I could not pass this up for $10 when it is usually at Barnes & Noble for $25. So anyways, those are all of the books that I got in August. I don't know what my book buying habits are going to be like through September. Probably minimal at best. So that's why I'm doing this book haul now. That and my husband's not home right now, so I can film in peace. So anyways, that's why I've been putting a lot of videos up lately. Anyways, that's it for this book haul, and I will see you guys again pretty soon with my next video. So, bye!